Good morning, good afternoon. Oh man. And good night. As soon as I'm done with this, maybe. Um, I was just working on the edit for our 2-year anniversary talk. Um, yeah, SJ and I had our little recording for our 2-year anniversary. It was supposed to go up a couple of weeks ago when our anniversary actually was, which was November 4th. But I decided that putting out the congratulations video from all the bands would kind of be cooler. But yeah, it is coming up, and just wait for that. It's coming soon. Sooner than later, I hope. All right, guys, I hope you're all doing well. I hope it's been a good weekend. This weekend was packed with great stuff. Stuff I went to, stuff I didn't go to, and I mean, either way, it's just, uh, it's an embarrassment of riches, to say the least, here in Japan, as I've been reminded. Hello, J Music fans. What's going on, Ronnie? Um, as I was reminded of the past weekend, to the point of tears, really. So, yeah, it was a good weekend, and I want to share with you about that. The lighting's slightly off because I don't have my light in front of me over here, but I think you guys can see me fine. Um, Wrinkles, pimples, stubbles, and all. So let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so it is November. I'm looking at a calendar. It is November 17th, Sunday night. And let's begin with yesterday. So yesterday was a pretty packed day, and it was a day I was really looking forward to because two of my favorite bands. I mean, it grows, it increases, but these are definitely two of my favorites, I would say, out of like a pretty large group of bands that I've really gotten to know and love. But first up at Shibuya Cyclone was the Saiseiga one man, and it was nice. I haven't seen them since I think June or July. I want to say June at Takada no Baba Club Phase, which was also the first club venue I went to, the live house I went to, like years, not years back. It's only been almost 2 years, but it feels like it's been years, where I had seen Risky Melody, Little Lilith, and a group called Maze. Yeah, we'll get into the Kanami talk. So yeah, it was great. It was an afternoon show, so the show started at 12. Was really tired, um, just because I had an exhausting week, but very nice, very nice. And so I was happy to be there. Toko and Wakun of Saiseiga, the drummer and the leader. There's usually a leader in a band in Japan, and they kind of call the decisions, or like other members give them the final say on things. But yeah, so it was Toko and Wakun who did a congratulatory video. If you guys haven't seen that yet, why haven't you seen that yet? It's a really cool video. I reached out to a few of the bands that MNN has helped along the way. Oh man, thank you so much. Phil, thank you. I appreciate it. You're amazing. It'll go to good use. But the congratulatory video, like it would have been like I'm I don't want to seem ungrateful. I really don't want to seem ungrateful. But it would have been cool if all the members were there, but it was Wakun and Toko who had congratulated us on that video. And again, it's really cool. I reached out to some bands, and they were gracious enough to agree and to send a video. Um, Quite a few of them sent it in late, which is another reason why it came out later than I had expected. But still, I was grateful, and it made me feel proud of what we had accomplished over the past couple of years with these bands. What's going on, Alpha? or should I call you Omega by your last name? Yeah, so wonderful show, fantastic. They played, I believe, the entire album, Saiseiga's new album, and I had not bought it at uh, one of the retailers because I expected to get it there, and I had actually messaged Toko the night before. I was like, "Do you think I can get it signed by you guys like tomorrow?" And she said, "Yeah, I think that'd be okay." So then I did get it signed, and it does say Peter, heart heart, XX heart heart. Is that an XX? No, that's Peter's Han. Peter's Han, heart heart. I'm reading into it. So yeah, it's a fantastic album. I mean, of course, I'm a little bit sad. It's only 10 songs. Um, the more that you can get, you kind of want a lot, especially when it's this good. And this is a fantastic album, by the way. It's incredible. Saiseiga, they call themselves what's going on, Steve? They call themselves a groove metal band. Is it melodic metal groove? Something along those things. Like every Japanese band kind of has their take on how they describe themselves, little blurb. But man, this goes way beyond just groove. It goes way beyond just melodic. Probably my favorite. Regan actually asked me yesterday, "What's your favorite track?" And I said Eclipse, which is track number 6. It's just so epic and operatic. I really feel that Saiseiga's music. I've said this from the beginning. Like their music is like oral chiaroscuro. And if you ever study art history, it's like the light and shadow that you play with in painting. That was like famous in Renaissance times. And in some ways, a lot of ways, I feel like Saiseiga is such a Renaissance band in terms of like how rich and textured their music is. Regan, of course, always blows me away. Man, so I was talking to one of our good friends of MNN, Alan, who I found out today was one of the top 10 people to actually join. So that was really cool. But oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so I mean, we were talking about like front women and stuff, and like I think their mystique or their charm, and Regan really kind of does a number on me every time I see her perform. She has her voice, her vocals are incredible. Her clean voice, her death voice, her performance, the way she moves on stage, it's like, man, she's so good at what she does, and she's just so tantalizing in the way that she just draws you in, and her eyes just kind of kill you. So, I mean, I can go on and on. And she was actually one of the first acrylics I got. And then another good friend, Kurt, had me get the rest of them, so that was really cool. No, she didn't give any middle fingers this time to anyone. Yeah, it was a different type of performance. Like they wore all black to match with sort of the theme of the album itself. So their outfits completely changed, whereas before Regan and everyone else, like they changed it up as much, just whenever they wanted. Especially Regan, with a lot of bright colors. This time they were all in black. She was wearing something quite form-fitting, like on the top, and then sort of like baggy pants on the bottom. That's kind of a thing. Even if you see actually Kimmy from Bridear, she does the same thing. Like her pants are pretty big and ballooned out, which isn't really my style. But hey, that's fine. I don't need that. So yeah, just incredible performance. Their music is so thick and textured and layered and just it blows me away every time. So great stuff all throughout. I really do recommend that you guys check it out. If you guys do have Spotify, Apple Music, whatever it is, like just listen to them. My favorites, I mean, it's all great, but I love 3, which is Wolf, for Voice. Actually, it's kind of in a row. Wolf, Voice, Butterfly, Eclipse. Like I love all those songs. But yeah, Really recommend that you guys check it out. Um, Incredible show, and I didn't jump up and down and like I totally forgot. Um, I had very eager fans around me for the two shows that I attended yesterday for Saiseiga Bridear. Yesterday's, there's one guy who had like, 5 wristbands and 5 here, and I mean he was headbanging, but like there was so many degrees, like it just he went so far back and so forward, and he was such a sweaty guy. So um I'm sure some of you guys who have attended a lot of shows have experienced this, but like I was like, God. I'm glad he enjoyed the show. I wasn't thrilled to be near him, but fortunately, as the show progressed, people kind of moved around, and at one point, people did start making a circle in the middle, which they do. And because of that, I got to move up, and because of that, I got a stick from Toko. This is actually the second one that I caught. The last show at Takada no Baba Club Phase, I also caught her stick, which is pretty wild. Um, let's see if I can grab it without having everything drop. That's one. So I got this one at their last show that I attended, and I got this one yesterday. So I was just like, oh my gosh. So I'm pretty happy. These two will go together, but really happy. She's an incredible drummer. Yeah, she gets sounds out of the drums that I think no one else can. Yeah, some pretty incredible stuff. Like just the way she uses the snare, the toms, and as she was playing, you can really, yeah. And she has like gloves too that she plays with. She is cute, she is, and she's sweet, she's adorable. Um, but I kind of get these analogies as sort of, yeah, as I listen, and it's kind of like these war horses riding out into the battle, this sort of stampede. The way that she plays it, you really feel it. You really feel it. So great stuff. Um, couldn't have been happier. But I was just enjoying myself a lot at that show. So then, what happened? I took a break. It was myself, it was good friend Gerald, and then Mike. Won't say his last name because he likes to be anonymous from what he's told me. Some of you may know him though. But yeah, so the three of us went over to one of my favorite places, Panda Express, which I've expressed fairly often coming here to Tokyo. Is just one of those comfort foods. The sound was really good. The sound was really good. I think wherever you go, there's quite a few people nowadays. There's over the past 2 years, the difference between last year even and this year, it's changed. Like there's like clumps, you know? You've got those handfuls. So Gerald is one, you, Richard, are another, and I'll see you soon. Um, Mike, Allen, Barber, he was there. Quite a few people. Anyway, so yeah, so we had some Pan Express just talking about music, about Band-Maid and stuff. But you will be soon enough. But yeah, you are right. Gerald is definitely around, which hey, I appreciate. Um, so the next show, this doesn't happen too often, where I'll have two shows lined up in a day. That's very rare because you really have two shows that allow that with bands that you really want to go see. This was one yesterday with Saiseiga. The second was Bridear and I haven't seen Bridear since their Daikanyama unit, which Richard Hogan was at, as well as Michael Barber. And that was back in June, I think June 29th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And it wasn't at, oh, actually, at that show, I did actually get, because if I remember correctly, Ayumi, I'm always on her side. And thanks to Richard Hogan, it was this whole fiasco because my foot was in pain. I had forgotten my ticket. And then Richard Hogan messages me and says, "Hey, I have a ticket for you." I'm like, "What? You never told me that." So then I had to ride back and then back again. So, oh man, I was sweaty, I was tired, I was exhausted, I was frustrated. But I got to get up pretty close. I actually got to the rail because of Richard Hogan. So he reached for the pick, it bounced off him. I picked it up and I thought, I already have one. I already have one from last year, December. So I gave it to him. But hey, karma, right? I got another Ayumi pick. And this one, some may say, yeah, they didn't announce any dates. But some may say that I shouldn't have done what I did. Others, like Michael Barber, said, that's being American. Because she threw her pick at the end of the show. I reached for it. It bounced off of my hand, and it flew back um, behind the barrier, the railing, which was sort of like again against the stage. So I slipped. I was like, "Excuse me," and then I slipped in, just went under, like I was Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Picked it up, said "sumimasen," slipped back out, and picked it up. But um, you know, depending upon which band you're into and what shows you go to, and maybe what your mood is, you definitely have like your oshi, you have your member that you are really into. Sometimes it can be tough. For me, initially with Bridear, it was very much Natsumi, because she's incredible. She's a fantastic drummer, and she's gotten only better over the past year and a half. And I said from the beginning, she reminds me a lot of Akane's younger sister, like her college sister, and just the way she just there's this like genuine joy and love that she has when she plays. You see it on Twitter if you follow her. You can see it on her face. Like she's just so happy playing, and man, she was just beating. I, it seemed like her goal was to like rip into the skins. Um, fantastic performance from her, and all around, of course. And for me, what I love about Bright Ear is that they are such a formidable band because they have Haru, the bassist. She's got her sort of her growl, her death voice. You have harmonies from Ayumi as well, doing an incredible job. Fantastic, and just such an incredible songwriter. And then you have actually, if I'm not mistaken, besides Natsumi, everyone composes songs. Um, this past album, Born Again, Kimi and Ayumi were the primary composers. Moe did a couple as well, if I'm not mistaken, and Haru did one. But I mean, Born Again, if you've listened to it, it's just so good. It's just so good. And what I love about Bright Deer and their solos, particularly, it's so pristine. Like I love it raw and dirty and just like, you know, you can feel and hear just the sweat, the mistakes, like just it's so just like all over the place, but amazingly so. But with these girls, with Ayumi and with Moe, they're so clean in their style, and it's so melodic and it's so composed. Like their solos are just they're gorgeous. They have gorgeous guitar solos. So um, yeah, man, happy to get her pick. She was definitely someone I was just watching a lot. I was happy to just be like right there. At the Rail. But yeah, Natsume as well. Just good stuff, good stuff. So another, and this, okay, so so at the Saiseiga show, there was the fan who was just kind of headbanging, just like it was almost like he was doing a 360 really. He was basically a bobblehead on a bumpy road with a lot of potholes. Like that's kind of how I pictured it. And then with this show at Bridear, there was a very eager fan, and I've seen him before at a few other shows. And I'm hoping he was wearing like a sweater or sweatshirt wrapped around his waist, and that's why I felt like a knot against my back. I'm really hoping that's what it was. But he was so into it, and he was pressing against me, and kind, fans do that. I get it. Um, I don't want to say I felt violated. Maybe I was, and I'm denying it. But if someone were to have, recorded on stage towards where I was, me smiling and enjoying myself, watching like an amazing band play, and then him basically dry humping me from behind. I think I need some lotion, a little dry chafing. But yeah, man, it's been a while because yesterday was one of the first times in a long time where I didn't worry at all about being a content creator. I didn't worry about like what am I going to like bring back with me. Like I just enjoyed myself as a fan, completely as a fan. Yeah. I took a shower and I cried in the shower. I cried. Have you guys seen that scene from Ace Ventura, the first one, when he figures out that uh, Eingard, darn it, I forgot his name. Anyway, um, yeah, I just thoroughly enjoy myself as a fan. And then at Bridear, for some reason, like I was at the rail and just losing myself completely. And I haven't lost myself like that in a while, like for the entire show. So my neck still feels it. My throat still feels it. I'm sure you can still hear it. Fantastic. Incredible. Um, I encourage you guys, anytime you can, watch Saiseiga, watch Bridear, buy their stuff, listen to their stuff, check them out on Spotify, again, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever you do, just check them out. Great stuff, great stuff. Yes, Jeff was there at, I forgot the name of the, Odyssey. Something Odyssey. Yeah, yeah. um, and then today, so I slept did I sleep a lot? I rested. I feel like I got beaten up pretty bad. I would say I was beaten up more than Mike Tyson was. Let's put it that way. Um, Rigged? Anyone? So, oh no, the whole chat's gonna get into this. If you've seen footage or heard about it. Today, I decided to take it easy just because yesterday was such a full day. Initially, I had planned to go to Club Cheetah in Kawasaki so I could see Hades there again and then Hagane for the first time. Ah, man. I really wanted to see Hagane, but it's been so long since I've seen, well, not so long. I saw them in August. But relatively speaking, it's been a long time since I've seen Band-Maid, and I'm not going to be able to see them for the other two Haneda shows coming up next week because they're both weekdays, and I can't take a day off on those days. So I decided I'll just go to this PRS, guitar, American vintage show, tons of guitars. They had Gibsons, Fenders, I mean, what have you, just on exhibit. And then, yeah, I like Hagane. I'm not like totally like after them the way I am with some other bands, but I really do like their stuff, and I do like Nagi. But so I go there. It's at a place called Shibuya Stream Hall, um, and I got there probably around a little before 2:30. Kanami's talk was at 3 o'clock. I go there. I see Hawk Metal. For those of you who know, Band-Maid fans. I can't assume that all of you know, but like in the same way that, you know, foreign shows, America shows, there's like the usual suspects. There's the same for Japan, and it's like, oh hey 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 hey. There's quite a few. So just greeted all of them. I did see Min from Jungfrau. Um, One of their songs on their uh, goodbye show went up. Is on MNN. So I forget what the song was called. It's been such a long time. But check them out. They're still young. They decided to go on hiatus, but word is that they'll be back. So be ready for that. I do plan to interview them too. So Jungfrau. And I saw the guitarist there, and I was like, "Oh, hi!" She was talking to someone. She was like, "Oh, oh." um, and so said hi, asked her questions, but I don't know if I'm at liberty to talk about the details, so I won't. Paul Reed Smith was talking inside, and it was packed. I mean, like people were just like outside, like the room. It's a pretty small room. So it finished. Maybe like around 2:40. People started coming out. I saw Gerald there because it's Gerald. Alan was there. Mike was there. Again, other gentlemen in Japan. Yeah. So there were a few who knew me, who know me. I know them. And yeah, we sat down just talking. And then, like Kanami's guitars were set up. She had her green one, she had her red Angry Larry, and then she had her private stock. They're all up there. And if you look on our community page or Twitter, like I posted both of them, it was nice. I mean, I've never been the biggest PRS fan though, you know? Like I'm not a fan of that look. Um, like the headstock doesn't do anything for me. The neck, the inlays, the body. It's just not my style. But it's cool. It's cool. And finally, Kanami's about to come out, or she did come out, and then I see all these heads in front of me because I was about halfway in the seating. And then I see these heads turning and looking up. So then I look up and I was like, oh, it's Akane. So it's kind of like a VIP second floor, but it's not visible to everyone. It's only like, I don't know, maybe not that high and maybe only to like midway, if you can see like your sternum around there. It's like a little box basically. So then she was there and I thought, oh, Akane came. And I kind of knew that they would be there because, I mean, they talk like, oh, it's just going to be me, but they're going to be there. And then I assumed if Akane was there, I figured at least one or two of the other ones were there. But at the end of the show, as people were leaving and you looked up, again, it's really tight space, I think, upstairs. So when they're walking out, you can kind of see them kind of leaning out or just walking out. And so I saw the behind of Misa. I saw Miku the most clearly. And then I ended up seeing Psyche also, like part of her profile. So that was nice. It's always nice to just catch a glimpse of them. Nothing like to go crazy about, but it was nice, But with Kanami up on stage, she finally came out. She was just very Kanami, very demure, very sweet. she wasn't in any way, because it's a serious talk. She wasn't being nutty or kooky like she is on stage, at the live shows, because the other girls aren't there either. But what was really sweet was that she was looking sort of for support, and so she was constantly just like turning and looking up, turning and looking up. And it was every time she would look up, you see all these heads, including mine, like turning, looking up. She looks up, we look up. She looks up, we look up. So it was a very strange tennis game that we were watching. Um, but the host, who I believe is part of another band, I didn't catch who he was exactly. Sometimes I felt he talked a little bit too much about him. Maybe some people didn't mind that, but for me, I thought maybe we should give Konami a little bit more time to talk. And but we were told about her, how she met PRS, the reason why she chose PRS. And if you've read interviews, Konami has this thing about capturing this sound that she thinks is right for Band-Maid, trying to figure out what works for Band-Maid. And she was mentioning how in Band-Maid's discography, like it's this huge spectrum. You go from ballads to mid tempos to like straight up rock, and so she wanted a guitar that kind of covered that. And she was talking about the feel of it, and it just felt right, which that all makes sense. So yeah, I mean, a lot of different things here and there were discussed. There was an announcement made, and yeah, they'll always support her. I don't want to. Not that I don't want to. I was asked not to post or announce anything until there's an official announcement made um, about what was talked about today. So um, some of you will figure it out just by the nature of the talk, but I will not give like a yay or nay. So don't bother asking it in chat. Not that I'm trying to be a dick or trying to hold a secret to myself, but it was asked of me. So I even had to delete a tweet that I had made like mid talk because I was so excited. And then after like 5-10 minutes after, oh, if you would guys not share this, I was like, oh my gosh, delete, please don't like ban me and put me on the blacklist. So that's that. But it was cool. It was cool to see her, cool to hear her talk. I wasn't sure if she would play. She ended up not playing at all, which was unfortunate, which would have been nice. But regardless, it was good to see them. I probably won't see the ladies again until beginning of next year, or whenever it is they start doing shows again in Japan, when I'm able to attend. So yeah, that was that. And then headed on over to a Mexican restaurant, kind of fast foody, kind of pricey for its size, but that's Japan. It's kind of just chilled. Oh, and I got flirted with. I was flirted with by one of the servers there. She took my order, and then she saw my wristband. Was like, "Oh, do you play guitar?" I was like, "Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I used to, not really now." She's like, "Oh, I'm kind of playing guitar." I was like, "Oh, are you in a band?" She's like, "Oh no, just for as a hobby." She's like, "Yeah, I was in Canada," and I was like, "Oh, okay. We're actually just talking." But customers came in, and it was nice. It was nice. It was nice. So yeah. Another thing, a little shout out to Dimas from Indonesia. Yeah, Mexican foods. I've been to like 3, 4 of them in the past month, just testing out different places. I don't know why, but ugh. Today's was okay. 550 yen for a taco. 1350, was it 13? 1450 for a beef burrito. It was a decent size. No, I didn't get her line because, yeah, I had another taco place last night. It was just okay. That was pricey as well. I just always feel underwhelmed. I should have just gone to Panda Express. They never let me down, Panda. No, I did not get her line, and I did not ask for her number. One, because she was, I think, too young for me. And the other was because I'm just too busy. There's no point. I was like, is when? Like, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I've shared this with you guys, but it just seems pointless. Like, I genuinely want to spread the good news of Japanese rock and metal. And I genuinely want to do everything I have in my power to grow this channel, my influence, and not because I want to be powerful for my sake. Like, that's kind of stupid to me. That's just never been my thing. I know some people love being powerful, they love being all these things, they love being famous. I would want those things because it would create more opportunities and avenues to get these bands promoted. And so, like, that's another thing that I've been doing and thinking about a lot lately. I've become a lot more introspective and kind of backing away from feeling like I have to attend every show. Is I generally want to start making smarter decisions, more business-like decisions that will largen this platform, make it more public, and again, I have to be smarter about that. I can't just go to every show and just take photos because that only gets you so far. Like, the good thing about this year was that I did attend a lot of shows. A lot. I mean, by the end of the year, I think like about 60 shows, which is pretty ridiculous since I started basically mid-March, really. I had attended a few shows, like maybe 3 or 4 prior because of Band-Maid. But I don't want to be caught in the hamster wheel. I don't want to be caught just doing the same circles, doing the same promotions, reaching out to the same whatever number of people. Like, it needs to grow. So I will be thinking about that. I will be trying to start something a little bit more that's my own, where MNN is connected and is a part of it, but it'll hopefully allow me to get more range and distance, and have more of an impact so that these bands can, when I do talk about bands, again, it'll have a broader audience. Like, that's the goal. Not to say that you guys aren't enough. Like, I'm grateful for every single person who subscribes and watches and hears me talk and ramble about these things. But in order for these bands to really get places, like, you just need a larger platform at the end of the day, and trying to figure out the means to do that, hopefully without compromising anything. But just know that if decisions are made that maybe you kind of question, maybe, just know that I'm doing it in the best interest of these bands and not for me to just get big. So, like, one thing I'll address very slightly is that I realize people online are very, very quick to critique. Some of you guys love critiquing, you guys love talking, you guys love just like pounding away at the keyboard. And I would just say, take a breath and just think. Just give yourself like a minute or two before you actually type something. Because I think some people they don't filter whatsoever. And there's a lot of ignorance behind comments being made. And I say that, and it sounds personal, right? Like, it's coming from some like more personal place. And it is. Because recently I have noticed that people, yeah, it's weird. just people, certain people, very few, very, very few. Most of you are amazing, amazing. But very few can be, I think, ungrateful and whiny. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Moving on, Eminem as a business. Eminem will be a part of what I plan to do, but it does all circle around the idea that I want to promote these bands. It's weird because I've never seen myself as a promoter, but I realized in the past few years, starting with Band-Maid and then with these bands now, is that I'm not bad at it, but I need to get better at it. So trying to create something that will allow me to, again, do any number of things, and have it become at some point a legitimate business where I don't have to have like a regular job and then I have all this other stuff with these bands. If I can do stuff for these bands full time, I mean, it'd be awesome, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. I want these bands to succeed, and yeah, just to go as far as they can. So that's me. Like genuinely, that's what I want. Is for these bands to go as far as they can, and I'll do everything that I can to get them to those places, whatever I have in my power. And if I don't have it, I don't mind passing them on to other people and places that will lead them to that, you know? So, the attendance of Bridear and Saiseiga, Bridear, I don't know, because I was like, again, like right at the front. I was right at the front, so it was Spotify West, which has a 500-person capacity. There was no mention of it being sold out, but I think I could say anywhere between 3 to 500. And then Saiseiga, it was at Shibuya Cyclone. I think Cyclone is only a couple of hundred, 250. Pretty packed, but again, no word of it being sold out either. So, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so maybe closer to 4 plus, 400 plus. I did also meet another friend of MNN, I guess, or someone who follows, is Dimas from Indonesia. I do want to give a shout out to him. I think I mentioned it, but he did make these really cool keychains with packaging, which is really cool. So he was at the Bridear show. He had planned on attending the Kanami talk today, but he couldn't make it out because his flight was like an hour after her talk started. And so he passed these along to me. I shared them with a fair number of people. I do have a few more left that I'll be passing out to other shows. So this is from, the image itself is from Mokume. Yeah, Anna Mokume. She is the artist who's done like these Band-Maid images for like a long time now. And then he also had some snacks, some coffee candy, and then some bang bang, which is kind of chocolatey, nutty, wafery goodness. So thanks for that. Appreciate it. It was good to meet you. So yeah, so that's that. Great weekend. Still wish I could have seen Hades and Hagane. But you know, what can you do? So even with that, I you know, it's funny because I've met a couple of fans. You're like, oh, like you're so like Hades, right? You're like Hades' #1 fan. And I think some of you believe, not, I'm not saying I'm not, but I am moved and driven a lot by goals and determination, but also by affection. And out of all the bands, like Hades is the most like family to me. if family was kind of four nutty Japanese girls who are amazing in like every way possible. Um, and so yeah, like it's I'm supporting them as much as I can. But I think starting next year, again, trying to being more strategic and thoughtful about not going to every single show because I realized I had a lot of stuff just kind of piling up because I was just going to shows and going to shows and like taking photos and taking photos and taking photos and doing video. And it's not fair to the bands that I do that for, so I had to be careful. So, um, you will see a difference in kind of how I approach things and things that I'm doing. It won't quite be as intense as this past year, this past 6 months, and we'll see where it goes. Every year is a different story. It's a different chapter in the life of M&N. Can I say anything about MyoFest? I mean, I don't know what I can say. Like, uh, great bands coming up that will be performing that night, Saturday and Sunday night, December 21st, 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but there's not really anything else besides that. So, yeah, yeah, I just it's out there. And I told her, like I asked her, do you want me to take photos for you, or are you gonna ask your other friend? Because they have this friend Erica who used to actually be in a band. I didn't know that until another fan who's been around for ages showed me photos. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But she also takes really great photos too. And so, too. So I take great photos. Did you catch that? Um, Yeah, so I said, let me know just whatever you want me to do. Like, I'm more than happy to help out. So Christmas will definitely be busy with that. There's definitely shows like during the holidays. My photos, no, I used to when I was doing like more cityscape, landscape, portrait stuff. But thanks. But no, not right now, not here. I used to have this photo printer back at home, and then I brought photos with me. But I should. I have thought about it, and I have thought about doing a photo book, because I've taken photos for like over 30 bands, like maybe 35 that I took. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I took this one. I took this photo. Like this is really cool because I am forever now kind of embedded in Japanese rock history since Sara used my photo for this, and then she also used my photo on her CD too. So that was really nice. I was surprised. I was like, what? Get out of here. Um, so yeah. Is there anything else here? No, nothing. No, no, not here. There is quite a few stuff that's gone out from various bands um, that have used my photos, so I'm grateful. Um, it's still yet to be like a consistently paying thing. Oh, I was gonna say job, but it's not a job really, right? It's volunteer work at this point. Although people from time to time show me gratitude with some money. Um, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, again, we'll see what happens for next year because I do have to be more thoughtful and strategic about things that I do and think in terms more in business terms of what works for me and what will help me to again build a larger platform. Like that's the ultimate goal is building a larger platform in order for what I do promote to again have a bigger audience. So that's sort of the goal. I'll still be reaching out to different bands and newer bands. And if I discover like an awesome band, of course I'll share that with you. What's been really encouraging is that other people have been sharing recently, like, oh yeah, if it weren't for you, I never would have known about this band or this band or that band. And I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful to hear that. Um, but that needs to be multiplied, like exponentially, it needs to grow. Um, and again, not just because, no, it's not even because I want it. I don't necessarily like big things, to be honest. But yeah, you got to do what needs to be done to get the work that you want accomplished. So yeah, um, other than that, upcoming stuff, um, the only thing on my calendar for this month that's left, Neki is playing at Eggman next Sunday, and I can't say like I'm like totally into them, or I think they're like the next Band-Maid, or they're like phenomenal. I think they're a fun young band. They have great songs. Um, but it'll be my first time at Eggman. That's kind of cool because I've been a Band-Maid fan for so long now, and to finally actually get to Eggman when like all these other people have, it'll be nice. Interviews will definitely be there. Interviews are definitely a way of um, getting people to know who these bands are. So yeah, yeah. I do have an extra ticket. I bought two just in case. So if anybody needs one, let me know. Um, yeah, I mean the only standout in Neki is Kanade, right? She's like 17 and she plays bass like a monster. So, but yeah, good songwriting, a lot of good backing uh, from their label. So yeah, that's exactly what I said in the last time. Yeah, I got you, Richard. If you need, just let me know. Yeah, just let me know. So that I don't know. I haven't seen any show for Saturday. But we'll see. And then on the 30th, Hades and Shiglaze will be performing as well. Um, I was invited by another artist for me to attend her show, but I told her I had a prior engagement. Um, I'm wondering, yeah, I need to think. I need to think. Because I want to be more strategic about things that I do and not just go with my heart, because it does do me well a lot of times, but sometimes I have to be more careful. Upiko. Um, I think I've only seen like one thing from them. Monodiagram, I would love to. I think Uyu is great. I talked to her very, very briefly when she did Dizzy Metal at a show that they did with Dim Rays. Um, at some point, definitely for sure. What's unfortunate? They do have a one man coming up. Yeah, they do have a one man coming up. It sucks because Bridear is supposed to play with them, but that's going to be like in Osaka and or Nagoya. Um, Not to say I don't want to see Monodiagram like on their own, but yeah. I think that's really all right now. Let me see. Am I missing anything? December is definitely going to be busy though. Bands are slowly sort of like rolling out a lot more of what's happening. Um, it's tough because what happens is that even bands you totally love, they'll announce things kind of last minute, much closer to the date when you've already made arrangements. And so I'm kind of like holding off, but you hold off too long and then you miss stuff. But generally speaking, like the shows that I attend, because I do go to more indie shows. So since I go to the more indie shows, they're rarely sold out. Rarely, very rarely. Every once in a while, you see a sold out show. Mellows, yeah, Mellows is playing with Venus and Doll Parts, which is a great show. They just posted it. It's a Friday, so I can't make it out. It's December 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, December 6th at Aoyama Rizm, Rizm. So for those of you who are going to be here for Band-Maid or for any other shows, December 6th, Doll Parts, Mellows, and Venus. I think that's definitely worth a ticket for those three bands. A lot of other stuff. Yeah, that's all I can say. There's a lot of other stuff, but I can't recall it all off the top of my head. There's just too many. So, okay, I think if anybody, the 21st. So then you'll be there for the first day of Mayo Fest, or maybe just the second. They're both. It's gonna be very full days. Thankfully, my holiday starts that Monday. So, okay, cool, cool. I'll see you there. And for anyone else coming, for those of you who are planning to come to Japan soon, feel free to comment. It's better to comment it rather than chat because the chat doesn't show up until like a day later. But if you do end up posting like the comment, then I can see it right away. Yeah, but bands that I would like to interview, well, I mean, there's tons really, but Mono Diagram is definitely one. Hagane, I would love to. I need to go to a show though. I need to experience that. I prefer that. I prefer that. Who else? Jungfrau is another one that'll be coming up. 11/29 next Friday. Next Friday there will be a show with a band called The Frail. And I don't have all the details, but I can say that Bad Bubble has been pushing that band on its Twitter account. Since Bad Bubble is now defunct, but there was talk of those members wanting to continue on, I can only say there's a fair chance that they'll be part of that band and performing. So that's November 29th. And I think they're a great, well, Bad Bubble was a great band, some great songs and performance. So I enjoy them a lot. Seeing them more and more this year is great. And other than that, oh, okay. I, oh, okay. I think I saw that one, Mike. You liked it, right? I think that was the gist of it. But yeah. All right, guys. It's been an hour, so we started at 11:30, so it's 12:30, which means that I should probably get back to some editing and then get some sleep before I go to work in the afternoon. Not afternoon, kind of ish. My foot, it's weird. It's a whole nother story, and I don't want to get into that because it'll be too long. Yeah, I'll see you at Neki. Sounds good, Richard. My foot's better, but not. It's I don't know. It's very temperamental. It comes and goes, but it's better for the most part. And yeah, thank you guys as always. Again, it was a fantastic weekend. Seeing Saiseiga, seeing Bridear, seeing Band-Maid-ish, adding another stick. I now have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, where did my Toko sticks go? Oh, were they right there? Okay, no, 7. Yeah, 7. 7 drumsticks. And I don't remember how many picks I have now. Sorry, I'm kind of flexing. Sorry. It's nice. So then SJ suggested, well, you know, if I actually play drums. Somebody asked me that, or somebody mentioned something about that. I was never quite the sportsman, but music I picked up pretty well. I don't think you guys have really heard too much unless you've been on Twitter. But I do play guitar and piano and bass and drums. And I do I do sing. And I used to write a lot of songs. So maybe at some point that may also come up. Maybe that'll be a part of like Peter's plan for 2025. And I have been itching to get on stage and rock out. So yeah, that's that. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here because now I'm rambling. Thank you so much. You guys have been awesome. If you have not subscribed, I would imagine if you're watching this, you probably have. But if you haven't, please subscribe. I'm gonna... All right. Sal Divan. All right. 2025 is, I guess, is when I'm gonna see you in Japan then. I'll let you know. But yeah, please subscribe. Please share, comment. Like, this is the way that things grow in this digital age, you know? I don't think we'll ever do anything that'll go viral. But if we can grow this channel, we can build, again, a larger platform to get these bands out there and hopefully to the States and other places and help them to achieve whatever dreams they have. So, all right, guys, this has been Peter from MNN. SJ is getting... Oh, Russ, what's up, man? Yeah, you did get here late. I'm signing off. But I'll talk to you on Twitter, or you can message me on stuff. I just wrapped it up. You can Yeah, I talked about Saiseiga show, about Bridear, and then about like Kanami'S talk at the PRS show today in Shibuya. All right, guys, thank you so much. This has been Peter from MNN. You just pulled a Ryan Muir. I will see you guys again, and yeah, I hope to bring you continued good news from the land of the rising sun. Take care, guys. Enjoy your weekend or wherever, whenever you are. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you. Bye.